It is National School Choice Week, a time to make parents aware of all the options they have when it comes to picking the best school for their child.
But what are those options in Texas? We break it all down in this KSAT Explains, and how some lawmakers are trying to use tax dollars to make changes to those choices.
It used to be that kids went to a public school dictated by where they live, or parents paid up for private school. But these days,
it becomes pretty overwhelming.
Anna Collins is mom to 7-year-old Bo.
The thing that I like about school is PE because I get to do it every day.
Bo's learning journey is only just beginning, but Anna found out that she had a lot to learn too when it came to school choice.
He needed a place that was very encouraging and had a lot of flexibility, but still offered some structure.
So the family started looking around.
I had no idea how many options there were.
You know, there's still a lot of great private schools, free public options, public charter schools that are tuition-free, hybrid schools that have like some homeschooling, some private schools, magnet schools, and there's actually in-district charter schools.
Inga Cotton is the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms.
When my son was about 3 years old, we found out that he was on the autism spectrum, and we realized that trying to find the right school for him was going to be a lot harder than we expected.
What started as a blog 10 years ago is now a nonprofit helping families navigate school choice and hosting events that connect families with options.
School choice is the concept that families know their children the best, and they can look at a range of different schools and education settings and find what's the right fit for them.
In 1995, state lawmakers approved the creation of public charter schools in Texas. They don't have to follow the same state laws that traditional public schools do, according to the Texas Education Agency, that allows for more innovation and flexibility. But state law does require charter schools meet certain financial and academic requirements. They're open enrollment, meaning anyone can attend, no matter where they live, and students are selected by lottery. Charter schools are mostly run by nonprofits and get funding from the state, but they don't get money from local property taxes.
So the state has a formula, and it's super complicated, but it basically, what they try to do is kind of average out how much are the traditional public schools getting from the local property taxes. The state averages that out and then comes up with a formula to kind of send that money to the charter schools from the state, not from the local property owners, to try to balance it out.
So there's free public school choice options in Texas, but private?
This goes back decades.
It's been a debate among Texas lawmakers for years, often referred to as a school voucher program, using public dollars to help parents pay for a private education. And this legislative session, lawmakers are back at it, faced with new proposals like Senate Bill 176.
It would create an education savings account program that would allow parents who opt their child out of public schools to get that money to then spend on private school tuition or online schooling or even private tutors. So it amounts to about $10,000 a year.
There's also House Bill 619, which would give tax credits to people who donate to private school scholarship funds. House Bill 557 would reimburse parents who pay for a private education.
The last time we saw a huge school voucher bill was in 2017 in Texas, and that bill did pass out of the Senate, but was killed in the House by actually House Republicans.
The biggest opposition to private school choice options in Texas is often rural representatives. Public schools tend to be key parts of their communities.
So even though broadly it's thought of as a more conservative issue, an issue that conservatives are in favor of school vouchers, that's not necessarily the case in rural parts of Texas.
But things have changed since the last legislative session in Austin, a pandemic fueled by frustrations among some parents over things like masks and vaccines, added to a cultural shift in COVID's wake. And it's not just a Texas thing.
This kind of falls under this larger umbrella of issues that is really kind of gaining steam nationwide. There's a lot of momentum around this whole parental rights kind of bucket of issues, which includes everything from, you know, what school library books should be available to children to how schools should talk about race.
The legislative session just got underway. We'll have to wait and see what happens with those bills. But for the Collins family, they made their school choice through a lot of research.
I kind of compiled all these questions. I listed what their specialty was, how far from the house was it, is it really drivable for us? How do you deal with wiggly kids? What is the percentage of returning families to your school?
They eventually found the perfect place for Bo.
He loves the school, he's excited to go to school.
But they learned that timing is key when it comes to selecting a school.
When you're applying for school choice in schools and, even private schools, that happens about a whole semester ahead of schedule and sometimes further.
Sometimes a family will try to make a decision the summer before their child would start a different school. And unfortunately by then, a lot of schools have already held enrollment and they've already held their lotteries. So the fall is a really good time to start your research.
And tap into resources that can help guide you.
Explore the options because sometimes you'll find something that it just feels like this magical fit.
San Antonio Charter Moms hosts School Discovery Day events where families can come meet people from various schools and ask questions. You can find more information about that at sanantoniochartermoms.com. We also have a link posted within this story on our website. Scan this QR code to get there. That's where you can check out any of our KSAT Explains coverage.
Keep up to date with all of San Antonio's top news, weather, and so much more by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. And once again, thanks for watching KSAT.